the interface that ZANU-PF is embarking on in terms of the youth. Mob psychology is critical in terms of people's thinking towards the nations, and it is making an impact. 20, 30,000 people is not a joke. Whether they vote or don't vote, but it immediately makes somebody think that the election has been won before it's even started. That is important in that there's no countermeasure. I've always said if ZANU-PF is having an interface, the youth having an interface with the president, what is the opposition doing to counter that? Because all the structures of ZANU-PF are there. And as soon as they leave that stadium or that gathering, they're able to disseminate information to the structures, which is the rural. You can complain they're busting people, they're using school buses and so forth, but they equally tell you we are hiring, we are paying. What has stopped the opposition from doing the same? They think status quo. Because you cannot be talking and having press conferences, yet you have no structures on the ground. Any movement has got to be supported by structures. And I've not seen any structure whatsoever. MDCT is the only one that has structures, but the structures that they have not been able to defeat ZANU-PF. No wonder why they've been looking for a coalition. Already you've succumbed to defeat before the match even starts. So ZANU-PF doesn't really have to care. It continues with its business and so forth. So I'm questioning the coalition alliance. But coalition and alliance, what is the difference at the end of the day? Is objective not the same? There is no one, coalition and alliance, who can attract ZANU-PF voters. I've always said that. The 2013 elections, ZANU-PF had over 60%. The opposition put together had under, if I'm not mistaken, 35% or 38%. So even put together, they're not over 50. Those who contested. So you need to take from ZANU-PF, I've always said, the 60%. If you take 20%, then the first round there's no winner. Is then initiated with these people who have taken from ZANU-PF. People were hoping that Mangujuru, through People First, would be the best to take from ZANU-PF, because you cannot penetrate the ZANU-PF constituencies and electorate if you're not ZANU-PF. People like myself for being ZANU-PF, but I equally challenge them. What have you done to take away the ZANU-PF vote? I stand here as one person who's taken away the ZANU-PF vote. I won the ZANU-PF constituency. And I took away from ZANU-PF. But they're seen as an enemy. In the coalition, they don't embrace. I was the provincial chairman of Marsh West, and I told them, you shall not penetrate Marsh West without having somebody with ZANU-PF DNA. The issue is to allow the ZANU-PF people to penetrate where they are known. There is no way that you can call for a meeting in the ZANU-PF territory in their MTC. It's impossible. It's never happened. Equally, it's also difficult for ZANU-PF to call for a meeting in an urban where MTC controls. But the issue is 72% of the electorate is in the rural areas. You cannot take away the land reform program, what it is attributed to the ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF managed to move people so that they concentrate on farming. The numbers increased in town, and more people moved into the farms. So the number increased. So where a white man had one farm, resettled to ZANU-PF, which gave them the land. I've not heard the opposition embracing the land reform in totality and say it's a successful program and all we need are title deeds. And there is no one who will lead this country benefited from the ZANU-PF program, because the ZANU-PF electorate, which is the majority, wants to be protected. Out of all those political leaders, who owns a farm? The land reform. The mere fact that the ZANU-PF electorate knows that you don't have a farm, you win power and you take away from them. They are more comfortable with somebody who owns a farm. And it's significant in terms of them being empowered at the end of the day. So How then are you going to penetrate the ZANU-PF strongholds? Don't have ZANU-PF on board. I'll explain that further when I talk about the complexities and factionalism of ZANU-PF. It answers that. The factionalism of ZANU-PF are that's the only remedy that they can benefit from. It's not a secret that there was the Gamma Talks faction led by so-called led by Manjuru, where I was exited, where I was expelled as a result. It controlled 9 provinces. It controlled a number of members of parliament. Manjuru was expelled, able to stand up for them, but had the strength to set up a party rather than having the strength to defend what is proper from a point of principle. I've never understood that people are being killed and we are allowing them to be killed, but we want to defend after they've been killed. That to me is not leadership. I've always said that. G40 and Lacoste were united in fighting Gamma Talks. Then fighting Lacoste. So Lacoste is not a combination of Gamma Talks and Lacoste, because they are all victims of G40. G40 has never had a structure, but it has strategic alliances in terms of who has power. They are connected to the center of power, but not structurally. So you have a situation where, come 2018, so who's engaging these factions from the coalition, from the alliance? It's simple. The message is simple. Come 2018, you're the MP for ZANU-PF and be voted in as ZANU-PF. But at the presidential candidate, where there's a fight, you then have got to find somebody who's not a ZANU-PF candidate. And that's how Boram Sango works. Hon Mliswa, you want to stand as an MP, as an independent, we'll support you as an independent. But on the presidential candidate, can you put X? March East did it within ZANU-PF. March East did it within ZANU-PF before that. So I don't see anybody reaching out and being able to talk to what is happening. The birth of the tribal agenda is not a secret. It's not a secret. I'm from Midlands. I'm Karanga, Shurugu, a village head, Murisha. My mother is Manikaland, Samanyika. My grandmother is Ndebele. I cover 3 in one. I'm Karanga, my father is from the Makoni Mtasa tribe. I'm worried that this game wants to be kept within one tribe. There seems to be a monopoly of the Zulus and no one else. But if you look at the founding principles of the struggle, which the president has always spoken about, of the struggle, who made in terms of the struggle. Tongo Gara was Kara. Nikita Mandela was independent. But when it comes to the presidency, a monopoly of one tribe. And to me, I said it before and I repeat it, as powerful as people standing by their tribe. There's got to be a time when regional balance and there's got to be equitable distribution of power. The country where we believe the Zulus are in, the Karangas must come in, the Samanyikas must come in, the Debeles must come in. I don't care who the president is, but I will not vote for the Zulu president 2018. Ndebele, yes. Karanga, yes. Samanyika, yes. And I'm very clear about that. We've got to see us being one. And that shows when we all agree. And there's got to be an agreement that when the Zulus are in, the next tribe is this one, the next tribe is this one, the next tribe is this one. Masvingo, Manicaland, provinces in terms of voting. Karang, Masvingo is Karang, Samanyika is equally the same. I've spoken about the South-to-South Alliance, which talks about the Matabeleland provinces. The strongholds of ZANU-PF were much east and much central. Much west, forget, that's the Karanga area. They dominated. You can equally say with the factions which are going on, Lacoste controls much west, Lacoste controls Midlands, Lacoste controls Mashingo, Lacoste controls much north, Lacoste controls much south, Lacoste controls Manicaland. Lacoste will benefit from the fight between much east and much central because the Zulus for the first time have clashed. Equally, you have Gamma talks in those areas. If you follow these provinces, they equally point out to the ones that Gamma talks controlled too. It's for everyone. Blawayo is for everyone. About that, you can see where things are going and so forth. So the tribal agenda is pretty clear, and I think people in the G40 putting Sekeramai forward is the Zulu. It's not a secret that the first lady too comes from Weza, Zulu. But it defeats the founding principles of the struggles who Zimbabwe is as a monopoly. I'll talk about the first lady's recent back. I want to be a mature, and the advice I'm going to proffer is, I too at some point had the anger that she had, but I seeked God. I know you might think that I am being funny, different. You see that the First Lady is always hyper, even addressing rallies. She has issues, and this can only be dealt with through anger management. It's unfortunate that this situation has happened, but let's come up with a solution. I'm proposing that she finds counsel in terms of anger management. It's important. All of us get angry, but how we react is different. Don't take that away from that point. And as such, we must protect the first family. Romans 12:22 says that you overcome evil by doing good. And I want to practice that. I want to celebrate her downfall because she's the first lady. I want to offer a solution. Anger management. 2, prayer. I went through Bishop Ashaba because, you know, I had a starter, but he went on it through God. And I'm appealing to all churches in the country on Sunday, quietly, to pray for the First Lady in terms of what she had and for her to be forgiven. It does not do us any good at all as a country, and I don't believe in having to keep kicking somebody with already down. And I'm sincere about this. I'm sincere about this. I can say so much about bad, but I'm not about bad, I'm about building the country. I feel for His Excellency. He's a good man. But what we're facing from an economic point of view, despite him being in power for a long time, that's where he's shown that he's an intelligent man to be able to be in power for that long. He can rule or whatever, take away politician. But His Excellency is also getting old, being stressed. I mean, I feel for His Excellency. He does not deserve this at this moment in life. We have to really, ensure that we comfort him. And I'm hoping that the discussions going on in South Africa are positive discussions for the benefit of His Excellency. We don't need him to be in a bad state. We need him to be able to run this country until 2018, as the Constitution dictates. So I'm asking from a YARD's perspective that we are a very tolerant organization. and let's be tolerant of each other. Pray for the First Lady, seek anger management, forgive. Let's equally pray for the family, the mother and daughter who, I, as a Zimbabwean, as a member of parliament, apologize and say to the family, sorry for what happened. If it did happen, that's not the way that it should happen. There should be no room for violence at the end of the day. I think people should be able to discuss. And it's my appeal to the first family to have, their children in Zimbabwe. You are better off at home. These are young boys who are growing up, and they're likely to do so much because they are young, and we all deal with that. But kumusha kune madzisekuru, kune matete, tinetsika vegushungo vanokudza rudzi rwavo. It's important that they be part of the cowering and vachidzorwa and so forth. See the case of corruption. It has an effect on all political parties. Not on I've seen it. I wrote to ZANU-PF in terms of the performance of the councillors. I wrote to MDC. There was no reaction. And we seem to be very quiet in corruption at the end of the day. We seem to have embraced it, and it has become the order of the day. What I want to warn political parties is that people are wiser, people are smarter. Whoever does not deal with corruption, and I challenge MDC to deal with their corrupt councillors. I challenge ZANU-PF to deal with their corrupt councillors. But it's also said that those corrupt councillors are the ones who are taking from the councils to give to the leadership of MDC because they have no source of income. So that corruption subsidizes their way of life. For Yard's position of operation, Yard is not quiet, but Yard is very strategic. Yard is watching the political landscape. Yard has been able to put up many youths in different political parties. If you go to any political party in this country, you will see that Yard is involved. Ours was to ensure that the youth participate in elections, in electoral office. And that's what we're about. We're not about the youth just voting. We're about the youth participating as well. And participating at ward level, at constituency level. Look at the MP, 23-year-old MP in Kenya. Is that not an inspiration for the youth? Did he have money? No. He was visible on, and we all believe that for us to be in power, we must have money. How visible are you kumusha kwako? People are looking for leadership. It comes by you being present in people's lives, meeting them every day, talking to them every day. That is the reason why, unless you're on drugs, you can stand in the Northern constituency, because I'm with the people. I don't give them anything, but I talk to them. I understand what they're going through. I'm able to relate to their problems and be able to represent them effectively. In Norton, I see people tweeting a lot, talking about social media. Hon Mliswa, the next time I kukupa vote and so forth. How vote social media? Diaspora. The diaspora vote is not part of the constitution. People would waste so much time talking about the diaspora vote. The diaspora vote is not in the constitution. So why do you think that the people of the diaspora must vote there? So why waste so much time? Look at how much time and effort and money has been put in saying the diasporians must vote. But the constitution does not say they cannot vote. The constitution says they must come and vote here, but not where they are. They've never been stopped from voting. I hope I'm not speaking on behalf of ZEC, but from a constitutional point of view, the diasporians have never been stopped from voting. The country, on government business and so forth, yes, there is that voting which can happen. But who has gone there on government business? Are you telling me the 3 million people in South Africa are there on government business? They're not there on government business. They are there out of their own interests and so forth. But diasporians save money, come and vote when it's time to vote. When it's time to register, come and register. Because that's what the laws say, and let's abide with the laws at the end of the day. Yard has what it calls horses for courses. We are restructuring young boys, activists coming in. There's nothing. And girls, there's nothing that stops any organization from having that when you're starting. You need them. But we are now going in and having seasoned politicians. With what has been happening in the political parties, a lot of them went and joined. They're back home and they said, no, yeah, there's a halfway house. It's not a party. It's there to ensure that the youth will be carrying out a symposium very soon. I've spoken to Amtasa, say good name, about it. Schools, public lectures and so forth, so that they can at least benefit. My worry with the leadership, and so forth, we will never have time to hear their history. Time is moving so fast, and we must learn a lot. I would like a situation where Mandela had time to have public lectures and talk to people. Can you imagine His Excellency Comrade Mugabe going for a public lecture in London? That's like 20 million he will get, because everyone will want to listen to him. So there's a lot that he can offer to people in terms of history and so forth. Finally, the reforms agenda. What reforms? Elections are happening, and whether you like it or not, the Chimani election was there, the Victor West election was there, and it's pretty clear that there's not been any violence, if there is minimum of it. So as you're going towards elections, okay, ZANU-PF, whether you like it or not, is not being violent the way it is. So most of these elections are being said to be free, fair, and incredible. If the opposition has anything to talk about, they must challenge it now. When elections happen, because all these by-elections are a clear indication of how elections are going to be. And a general election is not as intense as a by-election. So if by-elections are like this, what about the general election? So whether you like it or not, they're making noise. I've not seen any appeal made before the court saying, my reforms are not found on the iron. I go back finally to the Urungwa West report, which clearly cited the involvement of the village heads, the violence. I've not seen any party taking that to court. And that was done by the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission, which is a mandated body according to 242 of the Constitution. Talking about the anomalies, and that has not been done. The last time I wrote to Zach, and I want to congratulate them, was when I had the election in the North. There wasn't a Human Rights Commission and the Commissioner General's office taking crime seriously in terms of the reports you make, violence. They put one up in the last election, which means that if violence happens, you report immediately, the next person is taken to court. So whether you like it or not, they're making progress, they're complying. So the opposition cannot now complain about reforms when you're not going before the courts. There have been many by-elections. The Northern one is one. I go in my yard, in my issue. And of course, they're quick to say, hey, Atemba is ZANU-PF. No one has been stopped from wearing their regalia. And if has got their members wearing their regalia, they can outnumber them. The fact that you're not there, you now make it a ZANU-PF thing because they're the only ones with regalia you don't have. It's the same thing as the thing in VIP tent. I even invite members of parliament from the opposition, even some of these political leaders. Let's go together. No, Anti Ururachon dini, don't they don't want to come. So it now becomes a ZANU-PF event because you are not participating. You are not participating. ZANU-PF is one thing. It participates, it will engage. Kasukwena will still talk to me to tell me I come to ZANU-PF. And Kanata Mutindazok, but opposition is put out name. While they are in power, they engage. That is the machinery you're dealing with. Parties are emotional. Oh, they still have a hangover from 2008. It's eaten into them, and it's also been inherited by our family. Instead of the youth being the generation that must make the difference. How many youth movements should be in that interface? He attended in Mashingo, wearing a yard t-shirt, not in the mood. Wearing a yard t-shirt was there. That interface is organized by the ZANU-PF youth to meet the president, but it does not exclude it. None of any other youth that have wanted to attend it, we've been told you can't come. But we constantly speculate, and we already have answers. When you do that, yes, ZANU-PF dominates. They dominate, and they don't make no mistake. They don't apologize for dominating. Equally sell more ice cream on the day, and they will never. And those ice cream boys will never stop selling ice cream. So to me, the opposition has decided to influence the electorate is never ZANU-PF, but this is ZANU-PF. So to me, we must separate national issues and political issues. First, the youth are the vanguard of the country before the vanguards of the political parties. They fight more for their political parties than they fight to defend their country. They must benefit. My housing, which was SAI. But I got to benefit the country where Smith. So you know that I want to give you, when Smith was oppressing us, why Smith? That's the question I ask. But still they were fighting. The independence that we enjoy today is that they continue to fight and so forth. So the opposition is misguided. Okay, and that's why I say there's no opposition. Because truly there's an opposition. Heroes, So to me, I'm very clear about that, and I will not allow myself as a member of Parliament of Norton, where I represent people, to be part of this. I'll attend every national event because I'm patriotic first. My conviction is very clear of who I am. Okay, no further questions. Thank you very much. It was off the cuff. Unless you want to just. President,